Good day, everyone, and thank you for joining us for our Pisces pre-full moon garden visualization. Let's continue to build our healing garden as a group at some point within the 12 hours prior to this full moon, meeting DK there as he promised, and turning our garden into a shrine of consecration, and intending to offer our garden as a chalice for the love of hierarchy to be poured in selfless service to humanity. But first of all, let us align with our own soul so that we can link personality and soul, and so vivify the Sutratma. So let's raise our consciousness into the head, as high in the head as you can. Feel as if you have a huge magnet above your head, pulling you up, drawing you up to this powerful magnet. Then carry your thought or consciousness upward through the astral body and the mental body, making them calm, poised, and one-pointed, both receptive to the energy of love. Then visualize a lotus fully open, scintillating with light and pulsating like a heart as a symbol of your soul body. Now place yourself right in the center of your lotus, realizing that you, the personality, and you, the soul, are now one in consciousness. And from that point, definitely and consciously, assume the attitude of the detached observer. Observe your personality below, and visualize your etheric body and see energy flowing freely up and down the etheric spine. Consciously throw soul energy down into the center at the base of the spine, using indigo blue light, the ray of love. And now in your creative imagination, raise it slowly via the 5 centers, up the etheric spine, then to the ajna, then to the crown, and up to the soul body. And say the soul mantra with conviction, knowing who you really are. I am the soul. I am light divine. I am will. I am love. I am fixed design. And let us sound one Om as if we were the soul. And now let's gather in our garden. At the entrance of our garden, we stroll through arches of climbing roses, clusters of flowers in abundance overhead, and choose the color or colors that you like. Let the roses gently caress your face and touch the petals, their velvety texture. Breathe in the delicate aroma of the cascading colorful roses percolating through the air. Small lovingly trimmed emerald green bushes line the stony pathway, and feel the little stones under your steps. Along an embankment at the end of our archway, there are rows and rows of flowers, flowers of different hues and harmonizing tones of red and yellow and pink. All colors. And as we create these rows, we include our favorite flowers. The blooms shed fresh petals on the path, creating a soft carpet for us to walk on, releasing their individual fragrances as we step on them. On the opposite side of the embankment, we see right in the middle of our space of harmony a lighthouse, standing tall and strong, shining beams of light in all directions as a symbol of our united group soul. And as we assemble there quietly, we hear a choir of birds fill the space with their clear, melodious notes, welcoming us to this unique space. A chorus of angelic voices sing a soft tune, accompanied by the sound of harps, divas gently strumming the chords. Sitting still around the lighthouse, we feel the gentle warmth of the rays of the sun on our face, on our arms, on our backs. In the background, the breeze softly swishing through the tall eucalyptus trees chants a melodic lullaby. These majestic trees cast their protective shadows on the grass as sunlight peeps through our peaceful garden. Around the lighthouse, we see a large, quiet pool of crystal clear blue waters. Flowing from the pool, we see rivulets as we hear the gentle trickle of water. We also see 3 wider streams of golden water flowing steadily. Around them are curved wooden bridges. In one area of the pool float lotuses of all colors in all stages of bloom. Some are in full bloom, revealing their gorgeous jewel, while others are just budding and barely showing their true color, but all reflecting their light in the healing waters. And now we lean over and we touch the cool waters. Just beyond the pool, a hidden path leads to a cozy and serene corner, a few chairs or a bench, and a small fountain containing supercharged, vitalizing water, perfumed by a single floating lotus, create the perfect spot for an informal sharing of one's difficulties or words of wisdom. Inhale the perfume of the flowers, imbuing the air. Everything in this garden quivers with livingness. And bring in people who have just passed away or in need of healing in this quiet spot. Let them imbue the livingness and the love of our garden. In the distance we hear soothing sound of water, and we follow it. We come to a tranquil pool where cascading water gently hugs rocks as it joyfully spills in a blue pool, while bubbles of spray ricochet spiritedly in the air. Lush ferns along the rocks, draping in the water, enhance the serenity of the place, while the fiery brilliance of the orange and red leaves of surrounding trees brings warmth and invigorating energy to the area. Again, let's go to the pool and touch the waters. In our mind's eye, we follow a pathway which leads us to flower beds. They are a riot of spring color of reds and creams and pinks of such vibrancy, winding their way like a gentle living stream among the trees. A row of violet flowers on either side of the meandering bed happily follows the path of the flowers as they release their subtle perfume. And run your hands along the violet flowers and let the violet flowers just imbue the quietness and the livingness of the garden and transfer it to your hands, to your sense of touch. Butterflies flutter through the air with their iridescent wings, attracted by the silent serenade of the blooms. They are like the flowers of the air. Their delicate and fragile wings are like floating petals, catching the light and twinkling like diamonds in the air. And feel them land on your arms, on your nose, or your cheeks. Feel the caress and the velvety texture of their wings and their delicate legs. Buzzing bees surf the open spaces from flower to flower, seeking pollen, and the pollen looks like scintillating, bright golden pixie dust. Nearby, the soft and gentle babble of the sound of the fountain reaches our ears. Feel the lush green grass lining a gentle stream like a soft, velvety carpet under our feet. The air is full of the sweet fragrance of the flowers in full bloom, adorning the fringes of the stream. In this tranquil garden, quivering with life. This garden that we have just created is our garden, our group garden. But let's take a moment to add a little corner that has our individual touch. Add the colors, the unique features and flora of your own country that you'd like to blossom in our tranquil space. Let's now invite the presence and the cooperation of the healing devas working under the Christ. Visualize them in our garden, enlivening it with their magnetism. And sitting quiescent, our hearts beating as one. Let's link up with each other as we say the healer's mantra aloud, together. With purity of motive, inspired by a loving heart, we offer ourselves for this work of healing. This offer we make as a group and to the ones we seek to heal. We open our inner eyes, endeavoring to hold our mind unwaveringly in the group light. We know that Master DK too stands steady, pouring out upon us his love and strength, and endeavoring to lift us up into a higher state of consciousness. We are now receptive to Master DK's radiant energy. The light of the lighthouse begins to shine brighter and brighter, intensify gradually. And soon this light begins to take shape and a definite figure appears. It is that of Master DK. Let us try to feel his presence, to enter his consciousness. As he attempts to contact us as a group. Let us be impressed by powerful waves of cosmic love emanating from Master DK at the summit of our lighthouse, streaming through our harmonious group, irradiating the garden around us and imbuing it with a water of life and love. And let these waves touch our hearts. So let's listen intuitively to the Master's words and let them quench our thirst for loving understanding, and hence touching our hearts to release healing and compassion. In Pisces, we have the fusion of soul and form as far as man is concerned, producing the manifestation of the incarnated Christ and the perfected individual soul. The three keynotes of Pisces are bondage or captivity, renunciation or detachment, sacrifice and death. In the first cycle of experience upon the wheel, the soul itself is in captivity to substance. It has come down into the prison house of matter and linked itself to form. Hence, for the ordinary average man, the word said, "Go forth into matter." Hence the symbol of Pisces, of the two fishes linked together by a band. One fish stands for the soul and the other for the personality or the form nature. And between them is the Sutratma, the silver cord, which keeps them bound to each other throughout the cycle of manifested life. Later on, upon the reversed wheel, the personality is brought into captivity by the soul. And this dual bondage is brought to an end by the final death, when the complete release of the life aspect from the life of form takes place at the fourth initiation. In the early stages of its journey into matter, the soul renounces the life and light of the monad, the Father's home, its source, and descends into the ocean of matter. The soul dies occultly by taking a physical form and being immersed in matter. Then, upon the reversal of the wheel, it proceeds to detach itself from the personality. The soul renounces the life of the form, but reattaches itself in consciousness to the one who sent it forth, the Father. So such is the climaxing story of Pisces. The lords of will and sacrifice come down into manifestation, sacrificing their high position and opportunities upon the higher planes of manifestation in order to redeem matter and raise the lives by which it is informed, that is, the lower creative hierarchies, to the status of themselves. This is the subjective purpose underlying the sacrifice of these divine lives, who are ourselves essentially, the solar angels, who are qualified by knowledge, love, and will, and animated by ceaseless, persevering devotion to the will of the Logos. Of this process, all the world's saviors, past, present, and to come, are the manifested symbols and the eternal guarantees. The life of service and the dedicated intention to serve, constitutes a scientific mode of achieving release. In Aquarius, the sign of world service, the lesson is finally learnt, which produces the world's savior in Pisces. Hence, DK's constant emphasis upon service, which is the scientific mode of achieving release. It is in this dual sign of Pisces that the imprisoned soul and the personality enter into that process which will transmute the lower nature into the higher manifestation, the lower psychical powers into higher spiritual faculties, spiritual and mental inhibition into soul expression and mental sensitivity, devotion to the needs of the self into developed devotion and response to the needs of humanity, attachment to environment and to personality conditions, which is identification with form, into detachment from form, an ability to identify with the soul. Why? Because Pisces transmits the ray of love and wisdom. And this ray of love, when rightly directed and properly controlled, is the great transmuting agency, which eventually will make of the human unit a master of the wisdom, a lord of love, a dragon of wisdom in lesser degree. Love enables the thinker who fully utilizes it to put himself en rapport with the essence of all selves at all stages. A lord of compassion is one who, by means of the sense of touch, feels with, fully comprehends, and realizes the manner in which to heal and correct the inadequacies of the not-self, and thus actively to serve the plan of evolution. The second sense of touch is preeminently the sense of very great importance in the second solar system, a system of astral Buddhic consciousness, and its correspondences on the higher planes being healing and active service. The ray of love and wisdom pours through three constellations: Gemini, Virgo, and Pisces. And in Pisces, the work is consummated, and the will of the Father works out through the second ray will as the will to save. In Pisces, the Christ emerges as the world Savior. So we have here the whole story of unity brought about by the life and the will of the second ray, producing the emergence of the Christ consciousness and the appearing in objectivity of the Christ principle. I am the light of the world, said Christ, the world's Saviour. In Pisces, the sign of world saviours, shines forth the light of the world. This is the light, revealing the light of life itself. It ends forever the darkness of matter. And a study of light in all the signs reveals the symbolic story of the irradiation of matter, of the growth of the light body within the macrocosm and the microcosm, and finally make clear the purpose of the Logos. And the basic sacrifice which our planetary Logos made was when he decided to incarnate and to create this beautiful planet of ours. Why? What's his purpose? To function as the savior of the planet, in the same sense as the world saviors come forth for the salvaging of humanity. Sanat Kumara, the great sacrifice as he is known, is the prototype of old world saviors. The law of sacrifice underlies all the evolutionary processes. This instinctual tendency is the one that itself governs the law of rebirth. This urge to sacrifice, to relinquish this for that, to choose one way and thus sacrifice another way, to lose in order eventually to gain. Such is the underlying story of evolution in our solar system and on our planet. It is the major determining impulse which impelled the Son of God, the Solar Logos himself, to enter into form life. It is a governing principle of life itself and runs like a golden pattern of beauty through the dark materials of which human history is constructed. So when this urge to sacrifice in order to win, gain, or salvage that which is deemed desirable is understood, then the whole clue to man's unfoldment will stand revealed. So let's visualize our lighthouse, symbol of our united soul group, standing strong and detached in the middle of our garden. As Master DK at the summit pours the sacrificial, loving Piscean waters of life in the heart of every blade of grass, every flower, every lotus, every tree, and every molecule of water and air of our garden. And now let's make use of our garden. By pouring the healing water of life and love in selfless and joyful service to the race of men. By visualizing the flow of unconditional love and the will to good. Emanating from the triangle, the avatar of synthesis, the spirit of peace, and the Buddha, powering the Christ right at the center. Let's superimpose this radiating triangle on another triangle consisting of the Christ, Master DK, and our soul group. So see these two triangles blend and fuse to form one triangle. And now let's superimpose these blended triangles on our group chakric triangle, vitalizing it. Made up of our group crown chakra, our group ajna, and our group alta major. Bringing the power of the will to good right down to the etheric level. And now directing the dispelling radiance via our group ajna right eye left eye triangle. Place the blended triangle, impressing it over the 3 planetary centers, London, Geneva, and New York. Bringing the will to good, this time right down to the physical centers of our planet. Only the will to good annihilates the will to evil, we are told. So now let the will to good do its work. Work its magic. If your mind wanders, just sound a soft Om. And see the Om carry the will to good to these triangles. And say the healer's mantra aloud in a low voice, saying it slowly and deliberately as you believe in the results, as energy follows thought. May the love of the one soul focused in this group radiate upon you, our fellow men, and permeate every part of your body, healing, soothing, strengthening, and dissipating all that hinders service and good health. And may they work as saviors of the seeds of life within all forms, and identify with the essence of all selves. And may their will serve humanity selflessly. Just like Christ does standing under the great pine tree in his garden at the sunset hour, with his hands uplifted in blessing over all those who truly and earnestly seek to aspire. Let's picture a great pine tree in our garden, and let's gather around the Christ, Master DK, and the healing ashram under this pine tree, saying the great invocation together as one group. From the point of light within the mind of God, let light stream forth into the minds of men. Let light descend on earth. And as we sound a blue Om, let us see a shaft of light pouring down on earth. From the point of love within the heart of God, let love stream forth into the hearts of men. May Christ return to earth. Again, let us see a shaft of love pouring down on earth as we sound a blue Om. From the center, where the will of God is known, let purpose guide the little wills of men, the purpose which the masters know and serve. And again, let us see a shaft of will to good pouring down. From the center, which we call the race of men, let the plan of love and light work out, and may it seal the door where evil dwells. Let light and love and power restore the plan on earth. Now raise your clasp hands above the head and say, "And so let it be," and help us do our part. And now bring them to down to your forehead and let them rest on your heart. May the blessing of the Christ and of hierarchy rest upon all true servers, and may they stand tranquil in the midst of strife. And may the light of the garden of our souls be on the inner plane, what the garden is, what the sun is to the gardens of the world, a place of healing, of sacrifice, and compassion for many. Thank you, friends, for joining us and enhancing the love in our group.